Everything in society nowadays feels like it's backwards. And before you guys think this video is a doom and gloom video where I talk about how negative everything is and how there's no purpose to life and how everything just sucks and life is depressing, this isn't one of those videos. I just strictly want to talk about how everything in society and everything that we do on a day-to-day basis just seems like it's backwards and it's not connected with who we actually are and it's not connected with nature. So, what I want to talk about is the fact that we are so disconnected from nature and everything is backwards. And one of the biggest things that is related to this is the fact that we're not connected to nature at all anymore. Back in the old days, I feel like, even within my own family, my parents are from India, and back in the day, 50, 60 years ago, everybody used to walk barefoot. And so our feet were connected to the ground and everybody was grounded. Like there's this thing where if you go barefoot on the ground, you ground yourself and basically like somehow the electrons or positive negative charge within your body balances with that of the earth. And so you're basically in alignment with earth. And nowadays I feel like I don't feel like, I know that everybody's wearing shoes and we have a plastic barrier between our feet and the ground. And so none of us as it is are connected to earth and to the ground. And so we're not in alignment with planet earth. And that's, one of the biggest things that I feel like we have backwards nowadays is that we're living in these houses and in these buildings and apartments, and we're not breathing the fresh air from outside. We're not around trees, we're not around nature, we're not walking barefoot on grass. And I think that's one of the biggest reasons why there's so many problems in society nowadays. Like there's so many people that have anxiety, they have stress, they have depression, they have so many other mental illnesses. And I think that if everybody were to be more connected to nature, I think the majority of those mental health problems would start to go away. And I'm not saying that, all these mental health problems would go away, but I'm saying that the majority of them would definitely disappear if a lot of us were more connected to nature. And another reason why I think, society has everything backwards is the fact that we work way too much. Um, and the work that we do, the majority of jobs that are out there, particularly office jobs, it just seems like it's so fake and unnecessary to work those many, that many hours in a day. It's like we go to work in corporate jobs and we get there, we go into a building and there's no plants, no trees, no nature, no fresh air, nothing, in those offices. And on top of that, the sun is being blocked by the roof, and because we're inside of these buildings, we're not getting access to fresh sunlight, and therefore we're not getting enough vitamin D. Of course we can get vitamin D supplements, but it's not the real thing that you would get from the sun, because when you get vitamin D from the sun, yeah, it might be the same sort of vitamin D that you would get in a supplement, but when you get actual physical sunlight, you get that nice feeling of sun on your skin, and that experience alone is it feels like you're alive, compared to if you just take vitamin D supplements and call it a day. So, we're not connecting from nature. We're working jobs where we're in a building shielded from nature, which already is kind of shitty because, we're our bodies are literally nature. Like we are nature itself. And so I feel like we've built this like artificial life that we're living in that is just disconnected from nature. We ourselves are nature, and we're disconnecting ourselves from nature that is outside of us. And no wonder we're having so many problems in life. It's just crazy because there's so many things that that make us separated from society, and you know make us go backwards from society. Um, like I'm saying, society is so backwards, and we shouldn't be living this way. We should be living in a way that's in harmony with nature. Like we should be growing our own vegetables. We should be walking outside every day. We should be getting fresh sunlight every day. We should be out there in the dirt, gardening and doing all that stuff, and actually working out our bodies with physical labor instead of just going to a gym where, again, you're running on a treadmill. It's kind of like you're a rat that's running on a treadmill. You're just running on a treadmill on shoes that are made out of plastic, and it's like you're not connecting to the earth again. And it's just, man, I don't know what's going on, but like I've just been having a lot of these thoughts every day that, like, I feel like the way society is built, it just seems so artificial, backwards, and fake. And I think there probably is a way better way to live life than the way that we're currently living right now. Um, I the number one thing is I just wish that we were more connected to nature, and I wish people knew that and understood that. Um, Anyways, that's my little bit of a rant on how I think that society is backwards. Um, but yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace out.